I know you were pulling for this guy late in the game. Season high in points, 19 of them, 3 for 5 from downtown, and a really good defensive night as well. That's right, Lucas Taylor, our Orange Press Pass player of the game tonight. Take a look at some of the numbers. Take a look at some of the shots. That one was dancing on the rim for a moment, but look at the effort on the other end of the ball as well. Shot goes up, he grabs a board. He was doing that a lot throughout the night, and I think that Lucas Taylor has his most comprehensive performance tonight. That's what kind of separates him from some of the other games that we've seen this year. We've had stretches where he maybe hits 3 threes in a row, or he gets a little bit hot defensively and forces some turnovers. Tonight he looked confident really from minute one. It's good stuff from Lucas Taylor, and that earns him our Orange Press Pass player of the game. Well, despite the fact that Syracuse coming off of a loss to the worst team in all of the ACC against Miami back on Tuesday, when a brand like UNC comes into the Dome, the vibes are always high. Syracuse trying to pick up what could be considered a coveted win today in the Dome. The Orange coming off that loss back on Tuesday, like we mentioned, and trying to just garner any form of momentum that they could. It was a big day for Eddie Lampkin. He got things going early on. See him working in the low post. He looked a lot more comfortable today. Not as many turnovers. You see him tie the game at 2 early. That would be one of 6 ties in this game. And despite the fact that the game was tied a whole bunch, the Orange never led, and that's because of stuff like this. Turnovers. Ian Jackson on the other end slams it home. He extended the lead out to a 10-8 lead at the time. On the other end, some nice passing inside from Jaquan Carlos. Peter Majstorovic had a good game today. Played a ton again. Seeing more of a role from these bench guys who just haven't factored in as much earlier in the season. They're getting some playing time down the stretch, and RJ Davis late in the half makes a nice little 2-point shot right from the line. And then Ian Jackson, he was just on fire today. UNC really on fire throughout the duration of that first half, shooting almost 50% from downtown. Really good numbers, but once again, it's not uncharacteristic from teams that have played the Orange. It seems like every single week, teams having their best 3-point shooting percentage of the season, and you see the lead there at half for the Tar Heels, 8 points. The Orange would make it a little bit closer in the second half, but it was not due to plays like this. An alley-oop slam on the other side. Lubin finishes it off, 44-36 the lead for the Tar Heels. A couple more nice plays from Eddie Lampkin, though. One of the things that he struggled with in the post, just his steps really looking coordinated. He looked coordinated today. Made a couple of really nice finesse plays. On the other end, offensive rebounding for the Tar Heels, and they pay off. RJ Davis drills a 3 on the bounce. Second time he drilled a 3 on the bounce in this game, and just getting a little bit lucky, but that's what happens when you have opportunity. On the other end, JJ Starling, he just went into takeover mode. Only 2 points in that first half. He finished with 22, and a lot of them came on just ISO ball plays, a lot of what we've gotten used to seeing. On the other end, Jalen Withers finishes off. He had a career day, 19 points for him, 3 of 4 from deep, 70 from the field. Elliot Cadeau finishing things off, kind of puts the stamp on it. 84-80 after that one. You see the final score right there, 88-82. The Tar Heels finish things off. Guys, Syracuse was in this game a bunch, like we mentioned, 6 ties, but the Orange could just never pull away.
And Ryan Daly back out there for the second half as well. That came after the starter, Jake D'Andrea, got hurt on the first shot of the game. And it's actually the second straight week that that's happened. Ryan Delarocco, the starting goalie for Jacksonville, got hurt on the first shot that he saw. Stayed in the game, though.
Daly, 9 saves. He's played well.
Violation goes against Henry Dodge. And on the sidelines, we've got Sean Dorsellis with more.
Yeah, Luke, I spoke to Coach Fifes, and he mentioned, that mindfulness, that attitude of calmness. His team is just out of it right now. Syracuse has done a good job of making them play frantically. He said his team needs to compose themselves and that their best 30 minutes of lacrosse is ahead of them.
And they're going to have a gargantuan comeback if they want to make this one competitive against a Syracuse defense that's looked really good in the first 2 games. Michael Leo and Owen Hiltz, 2 of the biggest producers in the early going this season, but it's been all Joey Spallina. He's climbed back up the points threshold to take the early season lead for SU. Michael Leo, a diving shot. And Daly just goes down to a knee, and he's there to answer it.
A bit stagnant possession there. Not a ton of movement. Michael Leo drew the initial slide, ended up getting a matchup change. Tried to work that short stick matchup. Nice calls turnover there by Sam English.
Making things happen in the midfield. All alone, Thompson finds Twine. 10-goal lead for the Orange. The onslaught just continues.
This goal starts with Sam English on the ride. Nice pickoff there. Gets a hockey assist. Moves it forward to Spallina, who finds Thompson, who just calmly puts this one low to high. Finn Thompson so smooth. Spallina's 9th point of the night.
Thompson started every game last year at 24 goals. In his sophomore campaign, part of that stacked junior class.
He almost flew under the radar a little bit last year.
24 goals, not bad at all. 14 assists.
38 points. Led the Syracuse midfield. He didn't always draw the pole, but he's another guy. He's been effective since day one here.
Mullen got knocked down from behind, but he gets right back up to his feet. Held on to the ball.
Vermont just needs to limit those turnovers. I know he talked about it in the first half, talked about it with Fifes. On the clear, on offense, just can't be throwing the ball away.
Joey Spallina, another assist on that one. He's up to 5 now on the game. Only 1 point away from matching his career best. Bouncer to McCarthy on the far side is wobbled. He comes right back inside, missed pass. Trying to find Luke Roa on the interior. Goes back behind cage for Joey Spallina. He's gonna try and make it happen right now. Hiltz, turning shot and into the trapper for Daly.
Hiltz has struggled shooting a little bit tonight. I will say the one compliment to what he's been doing, he's been trying to increase his angle, get more towards the middle of the field. Daly's been tracking it really well though.
How do you manage that in a game like this where you're up 10 goals, you still got almost 30 minutes to play? Is it hard to stay motivated, or are you going out there same mindset regardless?
Yeah, no, I think these guys are pumped to play. Right? You don't get that many games in the season. You got to take advantage of what you can. They've been waiting all year. It's only the 2nd game. It's not like we're in April.
Exactly right. You guys want to get on the field.
And they know they've got a whole bench behind them that's hungry to get out there too.
And if it keeps going the way it is right now, likely going to see some of those faces in the 4th quarter. Billy Dwan lobs one up to Joey Spallina. The 2 Tewaaraton watch list guys linking up. The other one is all alone on the near side of the field, Owen Hiltz. 3 for Syracuse. That just speaks to the versatility of this team. Here comes Steven, or rather English, right down Broadway, and his shot's denied. Comes right back out to Schwasnick.
Syracuse, I know they're up 10.
Well, that ball's kicked around. Carter Rice picks it up. Bad turnover. Spallina alone. That's it. His 10th point of the game. Ties his career high.
Vermont, another turnover in the clear. Nice pickup by Carter Rice. Immediately picks this ball up, finds Spallina. And that's his 10th point of the game.
It's a green out today, Notre Dame, and it's all green uniforms with those navy letters and gold trim around everything. Syracuse in its orange uniforms with the script white Syracuse across the chest. Donnie Freeman steps in to take the tip against Kevajai. It's up, and the Irish win it back. They attack the right basket. The ball immediately into the hands of Matt Alacco. Gives it off to Tay Davis at the edge of the Notre Dame logo, who runs the offense, kicks it to the far wing and gets it back to Alacco. Alacco drives a pass to Shrewsbury in the far corner, then goes back out to Alacco. Shot clock down to 13. On the near side, outside the perimeter, it's Kevajai. Hands off to Alacco. He goes down to the near baseline and has to swing it back out for Shrewsbury. 5 on the clock. Kicks it far side over to Davis. He has to spin out of coverage. Steps back. A 3. Spins in and out, and rebounded by Donnie Freeman. The Orange get it and run the shot clock all the way down. Not something that the Cuse have done very well this season. It's Jaquan Carlos who attacks from right to left, and immediately a kicked ball off the foot of Julian Roper II. And the ball heads into the stands behind the scorer's table on the far side.
That seemed like an intentional kick, too, from Roper. Can't blame him. That was a smart move.
He stuck his left foot out, and it went right off the edge of his shoe. It's inbounded to Jaquan Carlos on the far side, and he brings it around to the near wing. Flips it off to Eddie Lampkin. Dish inside. Donnie Freeman from the ACC logo. Off back iron and rebounded by Davis. And he moves in transition quickly. Kicks off Shrewsbury on the right-hand side. Goes back to Davis straight away. Near side Alako. He's guarded tightly by Jaquan Carlos on the far side. Swing pass inside. Back out to Alako. Alako's really running the offense at the moment. It's been mostly Tay Davis this season. And now it is Tay Davis on the near elbow. He drives inside. Goes up with his left hand and finishes. Talked last night on Sports Night about who would guard him. It was Jaquan Carlos there. He got beat down low. Near side, it's Eddie Lampkin. He goes straight away. He's unguarded. They're going to let him shoot if he wants to. Instead, he hands it off to Carlos straight away. Shot clock ticks down below 20 seconds. Bounce pass from Carlos inside to Lampkin, and he goes off the glass and in. All knotted at 2, about a minute and a half into the first half.
Really good response from Syracuse, taking it into the lane. I want to see them dominate in the paint.
Jaquan Carlos came here as a passer, Sam, and he really hasn't done that to great effect. No. He made a great pass right there. A foul on the far side. Alako was just slowing down the offense. A give and go with Tay Davis, and then he was grabbed onto on the far side. So the ball's going to be inbounded from in front of the Syracuse bench. In front of the right basket. Julian Roper to inbound it. Swirling offense, and he gets it off over the ND logo to Matt Alako, who moves the ball with his right hand. Goes inside to Jai. Lampkin and Jai switch off from each other. And now straight away it's Braden Shrewsbury, who's guarded by the bigger Eddie Lampkin. He steps back, a 3. It's good, and the foul! That's what Shrewsbury does. He takes a heck of a lot of threes. Eddie Lampkin couldn't keep his hands off of him. Lampkin stands at 6'11", Sam. Shrewsbury's a sniper. He doesn't care how big you are.
Oh, it doesn't matter. This is the 10th game of the season for Notre Dame. Shrewsbury has now attempted 73 three-pointers, most in the ACC.
He takes a quick free throw, and it's good. Cashes in on the 4-point play, a 6-2 lead early, 2 minutes into the first half for Notre Dame. Jaquan Carlos brings it over the timeline. He dribbles with his left hand, switches to his right. He's pressured hard by Tay Davis. Lampkin provides a fake screen, bounce pass off to Lampkin, back inside Carlos, off the glass and in. Carlos and Lampkin displaying a little bit of early chemistry, back to a 2-point game. Tay Davis straight away. Multiple Notre Dame players in neon yellow shoes. On the far side, it's Keba Jai. He's in neon pink. Alako, a far wing 3 on a handoff, is no good. Rebounded by Lampkin, and he stepped out of bounds. He doesn't agree, shaking his head emphatically, but just caught a little bit of the white line. And so that's Notre Dame basketball. Lampkin grabs the board, but a turnover.
Yeah, that was just poor spatial awareness. He didn't realize his back heels were right along that end line.
Moving quickly with pace here. Notre Dame's trying to get the ball in fast. Syracuse plays some good defense, and Alako lobs it over top to Roper on the far side. He's backed up by Chris Bell. Tay Davis guarded by Donnie Freeman off a pick inside here Shrewsbury, and he throws a pass that just goes into the bench. And it wasn't touched, so Syracuse basketball going right to left.
Yeah, it was intended for either Roper or Alako because it went right between them, but neither player was anywhere close to that ball. An instance of miscommunication.
6-4 Notre Dame leads here 3 minutes into the first half. Carlos drives down the lane from the near block. He dishes out near corner to Chris Bell, who slides his way forward to the basket, and he goes for a layup, but he was fouled. So Bell going to the line. Tay Davis picks up the infraction. And free throws have been a topic of discussion a whole lot this year, Sam. Earlier this week on Tuesday, we saw Bell fouled on a 3-point attempt. He missed all 3.
Right.
He could draw things even at 6 here if he makes both.
And then you go back to the Texas Tech game in Brooklyn, and he went 11 for 11 at the line. That's the inconsistency we've been experiencing with Chris Bell.
Chris Bell has been really the epitome of inconsistency so far this year. His first free throw is off the back iron, a line drive that had no chance.
Well, it might be the start of ACC play, but the free throw struggle is clearly continuing already.
These are the first 2 of the game for Syracuse with 16:54 on the clock in the first half. His second free throw is up. This one has much more arc, but it swirls the iron and rims out. Bell goes 0 for 2. Alako picks up the board and attacks from left to right.